Hi, my name is Thomas, and I'm a full-time trainer at TFTC. All right, so I'm here to give you the preview talk on the diploma courses. All right, so that's what you guys are interested in. All right, so a little bit about myself. Before I became a trainer with TFTC, I actually was a designer. All right, so I graduated from fashion school during the Jurassic period, and then I went to work for a local designer. So after that, after working there for a few years, I left and worked in a factory. All right, so the factory produces clothes for various US brands and UK brands and all that. So as a product developer, I actually work with these variety of brands, all right? So after working there for many years, I actually left to work for, I went to New York to work for Calvin Klein, all right? So during my stint in the factories, I've actually worked with many brands, US brands, so includes brands like Abercrombie & Fitch. I've worked with Polo Ralph Lauren. I've worked with Gap, Banana Republic. I've also worked with some department stores like Macy's, Bloomingdale's, so on and so forth. Right. So when I went to work for Calvin Klein, it's because of my experience working with them. Right. So it was a wonderful experience. So for those that watch Devil's Wear Prada, so my life is like that. Yeah. Except my boss not so mean. All right. So after coming back, I worked for a few more years, and then I joined TFTC. So my experience has been a bit more on the production side, which is what TFTC is really about. All right. So what I'm going to run through with you are what entails this whole process of the diploma program. All right. Diploma program, we have two types of diploma program. One is for would-be designers and product developers, and one for merchandisers and buyers and all that. All right, just have a feel of how many people are interested or want to be a designer. Raise up your hand. Okay, how the rest want to be in merchandising? Okay, how many of you want to do your own brand? Raise up your hand. Okay. Okay, so there are more hands in that lah. So you have entrepreneurial and all those kind of people, which is great, all right? So the reason I want to suss out is that so I can kind of delve into something further a little bit and all those kind of things, right? Of course, there are people who don't raise their hands because they are in the I want to be a designer, but I think merchandiser is better. But I want to be a designer, but I think merchandiser will be better. I can eat more, I won't be so hungry. All these kind of things running in their mind, right? So, okay, so I'll talk you through roughly about what we'll be going through, all right? So when we look at fashion, a lot of people come into fashion thinking that it's very glamorous and all these kind of trends and fashion and all that. You have you have some part of it that's like that, but I think within the 3 months period, you will know what really goes into the whole process, which is you find that it's very different, right? Which is why when we talk about this, we talk about how the consumers see fashion, all right? When they see fashion, or when you ask people why they see, first day in class you ask why you want to be a designer. Because I like shopping. Because I love to sketch. Why you want to be a buyer? Because I like shopping. Because I think the things I like, my friend also like. So I think I'll be very good. So the kind of thing. So it's a very superficial kind of understanding, which is an entry level lab. So it piques your interest, right? So when we talk about how consumers see fashion, they look at latest trends, look at fashion magazines, look at celebrities, I want to dress like Rihanna, I want to dress like Miley Cyrus, I want to dress like, all this kind. Or you look at how people, maybe influencers, the way that they dress, you see their Instagram and like, it could be like that, that kind of thing, right? But that is only a very small part. That's, of course, how the clothes is being used at the end of the whole process, all right? So how retailers see fashion? They're looking at pricing the right item at the right price, all right? Creating things with high perceived value, all right? High perceived value, because people want to spend money to buy some things, right? For example, do you know, okay, this is a bit trade secret lah, okay? You know how much is LV bag? How much they mark up? They mark up the bags 12 times. So if you own an LV bag, think about how much you spend, divided by 12, that's the cost price. And every year these luxury bags, they increase their price. So, but yet people look at LV bags. They're like, wow, LV bag, wow, LV, because it has a high perceived value. So essentially when we're in this business, obviously we want to create that perceived value so that people were willing to spend that kind of money, all right? So shorter reaction time to market trends, because now fashion trends changes so quickly, all right? So it's very important to kind of put in the kind of products in there so the moment customers come in, they know that, wow, the trend is going on, I will buy it immediately, all right? And of course, creating higher margins at lower costs, which is why you have things like people producing in India, people producing in Cambodia, Vietnam, and all these kind of things, right? So that's how retailers actually see fashion. Then you have the manufacturers, how they see fashion, all right? It's really about delivering the goods on time, all right? Making sure that the things comes in time so the customer can buy them, all right? Making sure the production and the production capacity is there, all right? Higher cost of production for complicated designs, all right? So you have elements of costing built in there, all right? Constantly following up with buyers to avoid order cancellation, meaning that you have to keep working, communicating with buyers, communicating with the factories as a merchandiser. These are the things you need to focus on. So there's a lot of calling and checking through and understanding the whole process, all right? And solving problems. Every day, you are handling a crossword puzzle. You are trying to solve problems every day. All right, so it's really that. Also, tracking incoming materials. Are the fabric coming in? Are my buttons coming in? Are my zippers coming in so that they can sew things, all right? Because manufacturing is about the creation of that garment itself, all right? So, when we look at fashion, this is a very complex map of what the fashion industry is, all right? Obviously, what many people see is that they see media, they see, the celebrities and all these kind of things. Or some people maybe see it from a point of designers, all right, brands, and I love Gucci, I love Balenciaga, all these kind of things, and they approach it from a consumer's point of view. But actually there are many types of jobs in this industry. You may not even notice that the job is so wide, all right? So it actually consists of a whole ecosystem. Right? We have, the interesting thing about our industry is that you have the very uneducated to the very educated. What do I mean by that? You have the cotton farmers, you have the sheep rearers who are fairly, I will not say uneducated but fairly uneducated right? So they grow cotton, they grow that. Until you have the very educated, we have people who works in scientists, we have scientists working in labs trying to find out the new fabrics, the new fiber that they can use and all that kind of thing. So it's really very encompassing, all right? So where do you fit in this ecosystem? That's the question, all right? So how to FTC fashion, all right? So we identify where the job opportunities are, all right, in the industry, not just in Singapore, but regionally as well, even worldwide, all right? Because we have people we have ex-students actually going to Spain to work in a kind of a jeans manipulation kind of company that they do all these kind of new techniques on washing and all these kind of things, all right? So it's pretty much from local, regional, all the way to international, all right? So will you be working in a fabric mill, apparel manufacturer, all right? Embroiderers, retailers, so on and so forth. These are where the opportunities lies, all right? So the global value chain. So when we look at the process of what a garment from inspiration to the transaction, these are the various process one piece of garment go through. Okay, one t-shirt goes through gazillion hands before it reaches you. All right, so all the way from growing to spinning to weaving to dyeing, printing, cutting, sewing, all these kind of things, shipping, all the way, then you got that garment. So this is really the whole process, all right? So a little peek on what's happening in the Singapore landscape, because many of you plan to do your own brand, so it's good to know what's going on a little bit. So right now what we're seeing is, we're seeing many enterprising young people wanting to do their own brand. Alright? With internet, with the World Wide Web, it becomes easier to set up your own store. Right? Do 5 pieces, put online, sell it at eBay, go to Taobao, let's see what happens, you know, that kind of thing. So these are good way to start. Alright? So right now we are looking at people who are really what we call the makers culture, where people create their own thing. Alright? The Etsy kind of, if you've been to Etsy website, they do their own little thing and then they sell, and then they grow, and then they become more successful. Alright? So we are looking at these kind of movements going on, which is why one of the biggest market that we are seeing growing is the men's bespoke market. Men's jackets, men's suits, men's shirts, all that kind of thing. Alright? Men is sick and tired of letting women encompass all the fashionable items. Alright? It's time for the rise of men again, the well-dressed men again. So we are seeing a lot of bespoke, and obviously because we are a little bit more developed, you know, our taste is a little bit more sophisticated, so we don't want that G2000 jacket anymore. Like even Zara, like, yeah, you know, what is something that's a little bit special. So that's why we are seeing a booming market in terms of bespoke, not just menswear but shoes as well. All right, bespoke shoes and all that. All right, and people are willing to pay for it. So you do have lots of these people, a lot of these brands. I'm sure many of you are familiar with Nice, right? And then you have makers carts, where they actually have websites where they some sites actually produces and sell for you as well. Right, so you can have a design, you send it to them, they will work with their production, and then they sell it. Then they get a cut, you get a cut out of it. So you have a variety of different ways of how to run business. Some people say, I want to do my own online business, or I want to set up my own brick and mortar store. You all have different idea of what your business will be like. All right, but know that there are all kinds of services out there to achieve what you want. You just need to find out what works for you, alright? So how can TAFTC come into this, right? So a little bit about TAFTC. We're actually the training arm of the Textiles and Fashion Federation Singapore, alright? We have been appointed the CET, the Continuous Education and Training Center, alright? Specifically for textile and fashion. We are the only one in Singapore to do so, alright? So we're also registered with the Committee for Private Education, which is very important to safeguard the students that's coming to our modules for our classes. All right. So you have kind of a insurance plan, so to speak. All right. So what's our vision and mission? To be the global fashion school without boundaries. So many times you will find that we have students from India, we have students from Philippines, we have students from Russia coming to Singapore to take this course. The reason we are so special is because unlike fashion school, we don't take up 3 years of your life. We take up 3 months of your life, right? 3-4 months lah. So for people who feel that, also because we are an adult training center, meaning that you don't have to be 16, you can't go poly already, 20 something, you know, can't go poly. So this is a great way for you to come in here to experience what the process is about. But understand that because it is 3 to 4 months, the process is intensive. It's very, very intensive. Alright, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. So you must have because it's one module after another. Alright? What you experience in 3 to 4 months is what a poly student experiences in 3 years. We boil and concentrate it until 3 to 4 months. Alright? So the idea also is to inculcate each individual with attitude, skills and knowledge for development and integration into the fashion and textile business. You know that once you go into this business, the stress that you go through is the stress you will experience in this business. So we teach you how to handle stress for free. Yeah. Alright? Hi, take a seat. Alright? So, but especially business owners, I actually had one student, one ex-student, come in and said, oh, I want to start my own business. I said, okay, so are you prepared not to sleep? Oh no, I will sleep one. I said, no, you won't sleep. No, I will sleep every day. I will sleep at 10. I sleep at 10 and wake up at 8 o'clock. You know, I fixed one. I said, no, you won't. They said, no, I will work until I can sleep at 10 and wake up at 8 and do my work. I will be efficient one. Then they start their business. 3 months later, they came to visit me because they have some question to ask lah, right? So I said, so how have you been sleeping? I've slept for 3 weeks. You know, the kind of thing. I said, see lah, I tell you lah. So it is the kind of reality that we are going to teach you, all right? So the only reason is also because we think that we are unlike the fashion school is that you don't really have time to kind of marinate and surround yourself with this knowledge and let it slowly dissolve in you, all right? In fashion school, you have 3 years, so you do a little bit, then you go back, think, then do a little bit, go back, think, oh yeah, like that, huh? You know, that kind of thing. You notice that in many cases for our ex-students who go into business or go into an industry, they take this course 3 to 4 months. Yeah, so much information, okay, I cannot take it. Then when they start working, then they start doing, oh, now I know why I need this, so a lot of your so-called aha moments will come from when you jump into this industry to work. Then you start to notice like, okay, now I know what they're really talking about, why I need to apply all these kind of things. So the idea, because 3 to 4 months is important, the reason is many people have day jobs, or you may, for people who are taking part-time, you continue to have your day job. For people who are taking the full-time, you have to leave your job to take this course because it's full-time. So we want to make sure that in this short time, you really can have all this knowledge and then start make money for yourself. Yeah, so that's one of the reasons why it's actually concentrated to this period of time. Yeah? So this is we have a few campuses. So you're in the Tiong Bahru Plaza campus, all right? We also have another campus in Red Hill. We also have some workshop spaces in Katong, MOX, and we are going to have a workshop in Design Orchard. You know the building that is opposite H&M that's currently being built, all right? You're gonna have retail on the first floor. I think we're gonna be on the 3rd floor. So you have a class running, then outside you can see Orchard Road, you can see the bright lights, but don't be distracted. Very nice, frozen, like that, okay? So the idea is not to be that, the idea is surround you within the retail business, right? So that's why we are also there. So when you find that you're in our trim, you're in your diploma, you might find that you're going to different places, all right? To take certain classes and all that. The whole idea is to let you experience the different locations lah, all right? So we are accredited and appointed with United Nations. So I work with United Nations as well. So I've gone to Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan, whatever stan to teach, you know, those the birds won't even fly kind of area lah. Yeah. So because when we talk about production and all these kind of things, we're always kind of looking for the next third world country, because that's where we keep production prices low, right? So we're always going to further places. Like we've run classes for India, I've run classes in Cambodia, Vietnam, Taiwan. Well, Taiwan is more retail centric lah, all right? We've also run classes in US as well, all right? So we've worked with various different places to create courses. So Li and Fong for Kohl's, which is a huge department store in the States, all right? So we're the appointed trainer for Textile and Fashion Federation. We work with Cambodia, all right? And of course, Skills Future. The reason we work very closely with Skills Future is because you can have lots of funding choices, right? That will help in, like government give you money, might as well use it lah, right? So now just sit there and nothing happens, right? So these are the various accreditations and appointments. So our educational partners, Skills Future, EduTrust. Hi. We are also working with various schools in many different countries. All right? For example, one of the places is the Atelier Shadow Sava in Paris. There's a fashion school in the Paris campus. They also have it in Nantes and Berlin. We are also currently talking about working with schools in London and in New York, in US. Right? The idea is you take our diploma program and then you can have an attachment or go and study for maybe a shortened period of time to get your master's or certain degree programs. All right, so we're currently in the works for that. And we do have our shoe courses as well for diploma in shoemaking and all that. So we work in a very well-known shoemaking class in school in Milan, Ars Tutoria. So we've run our shoe program mostly in the Tai Hong campus, where we have the shoe machines and all that kind of things, right? So, what sets us apart? Like I said before, we train the industry, we train people to go into this industry, all right? So, we also have various networking platforms like Singapore Fashion Week, Singapore Fashion Awards. We are very, very involved in that. We are very involved in, for example, boutique fair, where we have people who want to set up their own business. Boutique fair is kind of like a trade show. So we actually have a store there, so we have people, students who start their own business, and hey, you can show your work in there, because sometimes having a booth there costs a lot of money. So what we do is that we help them kickstart certain things, all right? We also have New York Fashion Week for certain trade shows, and of course, MiCamp is a shoe trade show in Italy, right? So these are the various companies that we work with. Obviously, LVMH, Robinson's Club 21, those are more fashion styling related topics, all right? Then we work with Lytton Academy, which is more on digital marketing and all that kind of things. And of course, you have YKK, zippers. So anything that we work with garments, we would have a strong connection with that, all right? And of course, Li & Feng, which is a buying company, and Hansei is a huge Korean manufacturer, all right? They produce worldwide. What is interesting is we have many Singapore-owned companies, manufacturers in Singapore. They produce for Nike, they produce for Puma, they produce Under Armour. So people that wear Under Armour, you may think that it is produced in Cambodia. You see the label, produced in Cambodia. But that company that makes that garment is actually Singapore owned. So you may find that if you're working as a merchandiser, you're working with international brands out there, all right? Even H&M, Uniqlo and all that, all right? So these are where we've done traveling, done our trainings, all right? So one of the things that we are very keen on for TAFTC is that we make sure our trainers and assessors are industry professionals. So for me, I've been here, I've worked for over 10 years, but we have people who work for over 30 years. 30 years in the business. We have people who work, I think 60 years. Our oldest is actually 60 years in this business. Yeah, 80-something guy, 80-something-year-old guy. So, you know, I will tell you. But he has so much knowledge that you listen to it, right? So, robust curriculum, meaning that it's very concentrated, it's very filled, all right? And we also conduct competency gap analysis, meaning that when we work with factories, we kind of see what is it that they're lacking to kind of work with them on how to kind of fill up those little gaps, all right? And contextualize training program for companies, so on and so forth, all right? So we've also done certain trainings for Chanel, MS, where they want to do something more about styling and they want to contextualize to their category, right? Because what we teach Club 21 and what we teach Chanel are two very different kind of retailers, all right? So 10 to 30 years of experience, all right? So different career paths from design, pattern making, product development, retail buying, merchandising, and manufacturing, all right? So you must be passionate about the industry. One of the key things is that you must be passionate. Passion motivates you to continue this journey, all right? Think about like, you're dating this person, you must love this person because sometimes if the person, you argue, forget it we break up you know, one argument break up already, right? You argue, but you love the person, okay, we have to be together, okay, work this out, okay, work this out, okay, work this out. So sometimes it's important to have that kind of passion, all right? So 3.5 to 4 months diploma program, all right? And we also have many professional short courses, but the diploma program would be the apparel design and product development, the one in fashion business, and of course footwear, but I will be talking about this too, all right? So you want to learn about the fashion industry but you're not certain, you want to leave your current job, many people that I talk to why you want to, we have people, we have a rocket scientist, we have a warship designer, we have lawyers quit their job. I said, why, crazy are you? Not happy with your money, he said. You know, but the story you hear is that when I was young, I want to be a designer, so my father don't want, so they pushed me to university, so I study, I graduate, so I work for 10 years, then now I say, I got my life, I want to fulfill my dream. Look how it's a story lah. Alright? So you do see all kinds of people from all walks of life. So you find that in your cohort, we have people who actually work together and form companies, which is quite amazing lah. You're good at designing, you're good at negotiating, you're good at set up. You're good together. So they set up actually companies together. So you find that it's important to know who you are studying with and tap on those kind of expertise, right? So we also have the advanced certs, which are very, very diluted versions. These are evening classes where you have 3 hours a night, but what we talk about will be diploma. Okay, so there's 2 specializations for apparel design and product development. All right, you will learn all these things. All right, all the way from identifying textiles, which is very, very important. All right, draw digital image, meaning that you are creating designs on computers. All right, develop design collection, which you will source, drape, draft, sew, fit a complete outfit. All right, pattern making, so you know how to sew tops and sew bottoms. All right, analyze garment construction, how to. Okay, the idea of analyze construction. Okay, there are 2 types of people that when they shop, they do this. They take one garment, right, and then they do this. 2 types of people lah. The one type is aunties. Got string, got discount or not got string, right? The next type is the people in the industry. Because every time we look at a scene, we are thinking, how is it constructed? Why is it done this way? Is it more cost effective? Then we turn around and see everything. So we see, go out the window and see the color, all these kind of things. You know that we are in this industry. So it's an occupational hazard lah. So every time we look at it, we always think about, why is it constructed this way? Why is it priced this way? Where is it produced? So it's in our blood that we do that. So part of analyze garment construction is to teach you how to do that. That you recognize all these things. So seams and stitches, construction and all this kind of stuff. Alright? So also draping. Alright? So we not only teach you to create garments through patterns. When we say patterns, we are talking about paper pattern, which is the paper blueprint that you cut and then you sew it up. Alright? Not the repeated patterns. Alright? And you can create through draping as well. Then, of course, conduct fit evaluation. How to make sure that this is the right fit. This is the fit that you want. How to alter it, how to change it. Alright? Quality assurance.
Sorry, can I interrupt?
Yeah.
What is draping? What is
draping is what they're doing over there. Putting a fabric over a mannequin and pin it to create the shape that you want.
Oh,
yeah.
Not a sewed garment.
It will be sewn. It will be sewn. So you will take this, unpin it, so you do all your markings, unpin it, lay it on a piece of paper and then draw out the pattern and then you sew it up. Yeah. Okay?
Thanks.
So apply virtual fit evaluation. So you will learn how to virtually sew a garment, fit it on the avatar to see how it fits. Alright? Because now we have all this technology. Nowadays people don't, well, you still have people who use hand to draft and drape and all that, but now you can do it using computers. Alright? So we're introducing quite a bit of technology inside as well. So know that when you take this course, you must be computer literate. Okay? Computer literate, because I got people who computer literate, then go on like, how to turn on? I said, you're not using computer literate? Yeah, I know what's a computer this is a computer I know a computer, so it's computer literate. You know that kind of thing. Oh, my heart, very fast, Okay? So, know how to use mouse and all, know how to slide the mouse, knows what is a cursor, that kind of thing, So these are the things you need to have. You laugh, I see all these crazy things, that's why my hair is so white. This is natural. This is natural. Okay? I'm so scared that my hair turned white overnight. Alright? So, these are the things we're going to do. Draw production sketches. Alright, so we teach you how to draw using digital and also draw using hand. Alright, because for maybe people who startups, no money to buy those software. So you use hand to draw first. All these kind of things. Of course, social media. Alright, using branding and social media. Okay, create fashion brands. We also talk about certain retailing topics as well. Alright, so how to buy certain things. Because we have students who say, I study this course, I want to have my own brand, but I don't want my whole store to have my own brand only. I want to have various brands as well. So you need to kind of know how to buy things as well. Alright? So this is for the design, people who are interested in apparel design. Then we have people who want to are interested in fashion business, all right, meaning the retail buying, the marketing, and all these kind of things, merchandising, so on and so forth. So you find that you will share a lot of same topics. So textiles, draw digital image, analyze garment construction, understanding pattern draft. All these you will be doing as a whole group. All right. So the red color ones are the one that you are doing specifically for this particular module. All right, for design. So these are the ones that the design students will be doing specifically. All right. The black ones are all you'll be doing as a group. All right. So for fashion business, obviously, follow-up orders. When buyers place an order, how do you follow up through? How do you know what's the process to do? All right. Source for suppliers. How to source, how to cost them, how to price them, how to negotiate. All right. Sustainable fashion, very important, because now a lot of young people are doing. They're a bit more socially conscious, so they want to do organic cotton and all these kind of things. The carbon footprint of a garment. All right. They're more concerned with that. Okay. Calculate cost of material. This is very, very important. All right. You must do costing. You must know how to cost a garment. You cannot base it on feelings. People based on feelings, alright? I designed this, I spent 3 days creating this square. Then, I spent like move 0.1 millimeter, 0.1 millimeter, then price it. I spent 3 days, 12,000. Then like, no lah, this is 50 cents. Cannot. It's not based on your feelings, alright? It's not based on how much you work, because customer don't care. Customer don't care. And all of you are like that when you do shopping. You look at local designer. Yeah, $350, I can go Zara 69. You are like that as a consumer. So you must always remember that how your consumer will react as well. So it's about pricing it in a right way. Of course, you want to price it in a way that makes money for you. Alright? So costing and understanding what all the components cost and coming in together. That is an important element. For fashion business, the branding and social marketing will be a lot more heavier. Alright? Meaning that not only do you have create and manufacture brand, you have paid search engine marketing. How to make sure that when I key in certain things, your brand will be the first to appear on Google. Alright? Search engine optimization. What's the difference with all that? Inbound marketing. How to create advertorials. You know what advertorials? Advertorials are articles. You think that it's about fashion, then they talk, how come they're selling Topshop things? It's a very smart way of doing advertisement, because consumers nowadays are kind of rejecting advertisement. When they see advertisement, like, yeah, try to hard sell me. So we are approaching it in a very soft sell method. Alright, so I give you information, but you see this information, you can find it in my store. These are the things that we're trying to will teach you. Alright, social media management. Alright, if you got Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, don't know, maybe you sell on Tinder or God knows what all these things. How do you manage that? Alright, nowadays young people think that Facebook is old already, okay? Like, ew, your people, so if you just got on Facebook, you are on the old people's boat already. Alright, nowadays they're using IG, they're using, all these kind of, even Weibo, or even Chinese websites, very, very powerful. Alright? So how to manage them? How to have a consistent language throughout all these things. Alright? Of course, e-fashion business lah. Alright, all this is self-explanatory, you should know what it is. So we also teach how to manage that. Alright? So perform retail buying. So you notice that the black marking ones are your core modules that you'll be doing. Alright? So these are very important. So for design, it is 551 hours, 4 months. For fashion business, 462 hours, 3.5 months. Okay? 3.5 months. So these are some examples of some of the core modules, like for example textiles. How to recognize textiles, how to recognize fabrics, how to recognize fiber content. What's the name of the fabric? Alright? This is important for all our industry. Textiles is the alphabet if you want to be an English teacher. Okay, you cannot be English teacher, don't know alphabet. A, B, C, F, that kind of thing, fail. Alright? Textile is very important. That's why 90%, more than 90% of our garment is fabric. So this is very, very important. interpret and draft sewing sequence. So letting you understand what are the seams, seam codes, stitch codes, how things are produced, in what order they are produced in. Alright? Because in our industry, you have a t-shirt that Prada sells at $450. Then you have a t-shirt that Giordano, H&M sell at $10. Yeah, $10, Prada 450 below. Is it because of Prada? Because of the... There is, well, obviously Prada has to price it because it's luxury lah. But in terms of the way that it is done, it's actually quite different as well. Alright, there's an element of mass production, bespoke, made to measure, all these kind of things, and they're done differently. So this is to let you understand, if you're doing luxury, there's a way to sew up to let people understand that this is luxury. If you sew mass production, there's a certain way that you know that it is sewn for mass production. Because mass production is about speed, fast. Luxury is about refinement. You have to sew until you cannot see stitches and everything, it fits very well. All these little things, alright? So analyze garment construction, this is about that. So one garment can have all these different stitch codes. Alright? Very, very complicated. So you start to look at clothes in almost a scientific manner. People use clothes and style, color, like that, right? So when you start to go through this, you start, oh my god, you start to appreciate a basic garment because you really start to understand how much work goes into making one. Yeah. So you look at pleats like, oh my god, pleats like, wow, you know? So you see people like take ruler and measure the pleat depth like, wow, very high lor, wow, 5 cm, 5 cm, 5 cm, wow, very soon that. But siao one, of course lah, you know? But once you start doing, you start to sew 5 cm like, you let it move, then when you sew, it's 5 cm, 6 cm, 10 cm. Then you start to appreciate 5 cm, 5 cm, 5 cm. You know, all these things are things that you will start to appreciate. So draw production sketches, teach you how to draw clothes in a diagrammatic manner, not a illustrative manner. Alright, because these are the things that when you do this kind of design, you will need to send to the factory. The factory will have to understand it. Alright, so you need to draw it in this way. For people that think that fashion designers do illustration, not really lah. Unless you are Karl Lagerfeld or you're Marc Jacobs, then you do that lah. But there's one Marc Jacobs and there's 20 assistant designer. And the 20 assistant designer do this. Alright? Then of course, draw digital image is how to use it. We normally use, we only use Adobe Illustrator and Adobe Photoshop. Alright, so for people who are used to it, who've used it before, you find it's easier. For people who are new to it, it is more challenging. But no one has died from it yet. Alright, we haven't had any, you know, cross X die, 1 student die, 2 students die. We haven't had that lah. Alright? Create and manage fashion brand. Alright? Really understanding what your brand is about, who your target market is, how you want to set up your brand to give that image, how to create products that is suitable, how to create even, I think, your perceived idea of what it is supposed to be. Alright? Like, some people will think that set up a shop, sell t-shirt, right? Yeah, t-shirt lah. Just put everything on the window so people will think that I have everything. Then people look at you, you have like chapalang like that. You know, you want to have an image of Prada, but in the end you end up looking like Forever 21. Alright? So how are you going to go about creating those kind of things? Right? Fashion retail buying. Alright? Plan and execute and analyze the purchase. Many people who want to be buyer will think that I am buying something because I have good taste. Taste doesn't matter. Taste doesn't matter. Your taste doesn't matter. Your customers' taste matter. You are buying it not because you like it. You are buying it because your customer will buy it. Understand that people think retail is like I just go and buy, then you will sell. Yeah, you know. No one will give you $1 million and expect to earn $1 million. If you spend $1 million and you earn $1 million, your profit is zero. I give you $1 million, I want to make sure you sell $5 million. So my profit is $4 million. You understand what I'm talking about? That's why as a buyer, it's very high stress. Because the 4 words, the 4 letters that buyers are afraid the most. S-A-L-E. Sale. Because that would mean that the profit goes, I mean, everybody has a quota to meet lah. Right? So they always freaked out. Alright, so it's really about making sure that this product is priced right, you can sell it at a certain price, and make sure that people like it. So there's a lot of psychology that goes into it. What is your customer thinking? Alright, all these kind of things. Understand that in our industry, we are selling things before the person even know they want it. Alright, we are selling something or creating something before the person. For example, in your case, right? You go to a shop and see that mouse. Wow, just what I want. Oh my god, great! Wow, so nice. I buy it, right? But this one has to be produced, and it takes 3 months to produce. So 3 months ago, the producer will know that you want it 3 months ago already, and then it has to be approved. 1 month ago to approve. The designers have to choose the material, choose the what. Someone has to design it. It can go as much as 1 year ago. So as a product developer, as a designer, I must know what you want before you want it, before you know you want it. So I have to work 1 year ahead of time. A buyer has to work 6 months ahead. So all these things are understanding what your consumer is, what they want, and all these kind of things. Alright? So it's mystical in that way. How they know? How they know? How they know? Come for the class and we'll tell you. Alright? Alright? So these are the practical approach to purchasing. Alright? You'll be doing group projects, you will be simulating a retail environment, and how do you buy and how do you plan to sell, and what is your breakdown. This requires accounting knowledge, a little bit lah, because you have to do your P&L and all these kind of things lah. Business owners, you are a business first, right? Some business owner, I'm into fashion. Open the store. Wow, friends come. Wow. The second day. Yeah, third day, fourth day, 5 day, then you have a whole pile of mosquito there, right? It's about making sure that it is a business first. Alright? So we are going to hopefully change your mind to let you think that way. Alright? So product development is to really create designs, analyzing things, analyzing trends, analyzing customers, and then create a collection. Alright? Through creating mood boards, trend boards, fabric boards, and all this kind of stuff. Alright? And then you have to create technical package. Alright? So quality assurance, you want to make sure it's good quality lah. Alright? How to make sure that it's good quality? Alright? Because quality is different for different people lah. Consumers don't really know about quality. Consumers understand soft is good, hard is bad. You buy towel, oh, soft. You buy it, right? Then the first time you buy your towel, you use it, right? You're pushing water, doesn't absorb one. You push, doesn't absorb, right? Because the towel is actually coated with a thick layer of silicone, aka softland. Your softener lah. So that's why it feels very soft with the teddy bear bounce like that, right? You found that the best towel is the crusty, dry, like that, you know, cardboard, you can stand, but you put soap, everything is dry, right? But to a customer, if they feel rough, they're like, eee, bad. So to customers, soft is good. So the question is, what is true quality? What is quality to consumers? These are things that you have to really understand, alright? You cannot say, that's why people, when they feel fabric that's rough, must be bad. It doesn't mean that, it just means that it's a different quality, that's all. It doesn't mean that it's good. Soft things can also be bad. Alright? So these are the things to really think about. What do you mean by quality? How do you analyze quality? How to identify problems? Alright? So the elective modules, for design so top, so bottom, alright? You learn how to do that. A basic top and a basic bottom. Alright? A skirt, shorts, and all that. You learn how to manipulate darts, and all these kind of things. But people who are really interested in design, they would. But you need to have a mathematical mind, this one, because drafting is, you need a... So designers don't think that it's always artistic. You have to use it's a combination of both sides of your brains, alright? Fit evaluation, right? You have these screening lines, how to deal with it. You cannot do breast reduction. That costs more. So you have to adjust the pattern to fit it right. Alright? So these are the things like what is quality, because the fit is important. Alright? Develop design collection. This is for design students, this is the final module you'll be doing. So it is a combination of all the things you've learned in the past 3.5 months. You know, how to source for fabric, how to cost them, how to design, how to create, how to sew, how to, you know, draft, and then put everything to fit to your own body. This is kind of the finale, like, so students do all this, then they're like, 3 months ago I cannot even touch a needle, but now I can sew a complete outfit. You know, that kind of thing. So they actually, it's in a very short time you have to create something, but that is our industry. All right. It is uncommon. It is not common for someone to say, "Oh, Thomas, I need this. Oh, I say, oh, okay. When do you need it? I need it yesterday." All right. So it's always that. All right. So the idea of giving you a very short lead time is to train you up to how to use your time efficiently, because that is what you'll be experiencing in the industry. All right. So for the 9 elective modules, source for supply, sourcing is very important. How to source for the right price, so negotiation comes in. All right. Follow-up orders, okay. How to look at what are the problems and how to follow through them. All right. How to break down in certain ways. Okay. Understand lead time. Costing. So I told you about costing already. All right. So all these breakdown will equals every action that you do costs money. Every action that you do costs money and need to be costed. Some people button, one button only. Costing, the amazing thing about cost is that when I went for my first costing, I was in New York. My factory is here. The Macy's buyers are here. They're talking about polo shirt. Then they cost the person, like, for the factory. I can sell you at $3.41. $3.41. It's like, person, can you help me? $3.40? Then you're like, huh? 1 cent. Then you like, go back. Like watching a tennis match. Then I come back and say, why you need to? 1 cent also must negotiate. They say that 1 cent for this style, if I'm producing 500,000 pieces, how much would I earn already? So all these things must break down to a very, very scientific, precise way. All right, what are the things you can maneuver? What you can negotiate with? All right, so this is very, very important for the fashion business students. Sustainable, all right. So what we do is that normally we have, it's not uncommon for design students to want to take up some of the modules for fashion business and vice versa. Because just now I told you, right, some people are like, I want to do fashion, but merchandising is good, but fashion, but merchandising, all this kind of thinking. So sometimes they say, what the hell, I'm taking both. Alright, so for people who do the design, you just have to take the elective modules for the fashion business and vice versa. Alright, so in total it will be about 7 months, 24 modules. Alright, in total you'll take lah. Alright, so what is great about it is that normally when you finish one particular diploma, you'll be getting a $1,000 qualification award, yes? But if you finish the 9 modules for fashion business or 6 modules for the design business, for the design students, you will get an extra $1,000. So in total you get $2,000 just to take that. So for people who are interested to start their own business, knowing both sides is important. So think about that, alright? So you get a double diploma lah, what we call a double diploma, alright? So career opportunities, these are the career opportunities if you look at, if you're doing sales and marketing in retail, alright? So we have students who worked in Uniqlo, H&M, we have students who work in MS, we have students who work in Chanel, alright? Both in the floor and in the office as well, alright? So these things are very helpful. Some of course work in factories and some have gone overseas to work in various places as well, alright? Product developer, assistant designer, technical designer. We have students who graduated and work in British India. We have designers, students who graduated and set up their own business. Quite a few set up their own business. Some of them work with other designers like Ling Wu. Ling Wu is a bag designer. She does exotic skins and all these kind of things. So you do have other opportunities to where you want to go about doing your things. The opportunities are there. It's for you to find out what you're willing to do, alright? Because some people, assistant designer, I'm too good. You know, that kind of thing. How come nobody wants me? You know, that kind of thing. Yeah, know that when you do this, you are really starting from scratch again. You're starting from scratch again, alright? So it's good to kind of experience the whole thing, because what you experience in school, sometimes when you work, people are not sure whether you sure or not, you sure you study this or not, you sure or not, you remember or not. You go to the bottom first and experience it and climb your way up. If you do it well, your rise will be faster lah, right? I have a student who actually worked in Williams-Sonoma. You know Williams-Sonoma? Williams-Sonoma is a US luxury kind of, you know Martha Stewart? You know they have cooking tray, baking, home decor, that kind of thing. She climbed so high that her pay is actually twice of mine. I'm so jealous. I should be working there right now. It's twice as much. When I heard it, I'm like, like that, no. So it's how you want to go about it, and what are the opportunities and what you're willing to do. All right? Sorry. So merchandising. Okay, so you have your buyers, analysis, planner, sourcing assistant. So we do have overseas exchange programs. So for footwear, we normally go to China to look at factories or to do sourcing. For our fashion student, we normally go to a factory to look at how the factories are done, because a lot of things that you learn will be factory-based, mass production. So you learn all this machine, then you're like, you know how students are, right? Teacher only say one, not sure really or not. Then you go to a factory. Oh, really? Okay, you know? So you will go to a factory to see how fabric is woven or knitted, how things are cut, how things are sewn, and all these kind of things. In certain cases, we also have people going overseas. In this case, we have, like we said, an exchange program. We have a group of students going to Paris for 2 weeks to learn the artistry of fashion design. You know, some people, you ask me draw production drawing, very sian. So they go like, then they experience what is more high-end design experience. All right, so we do have these kind of exchange programs, right? And we open up to our graduates. So normally we have it once a year, but for diploma program, normally we run 4 to 5 diploma programs a year. So meaning that sometimes when you graduate, you may be still, you know, like no time or whatever, then you can join this when they go overseas, or maybe next year. So we always open up to our graduates to let you experience that. So this is factory. Okay, so workshops. So we do have opportunities for students to attend certain events, depending whether it meets that period of time. All right, like for example, one whole year, we do have the fashion technology kind of program. Like for example, last week we had the streetwear culture cartel trade show, which is a trade show for streetwear. So people who are tattoo artists, who are doing street fashion, which is now very popular, do shoes and all these kind of things, they actually have that. So actually it was in time for our students to go over and check out, because some people are more interested in that. For people who are not interested in street culture, it's good to actually go in and see who these people are. Because sometimes we surround ourselves with the same people, then we see some other people like on the lift, then we like, like that. So as a designer, as someone who works in retail, it's important to really understand the psyche of very different people, because a good part of you will not be doing the thing. You will not be buying for yourself. You'll be buying for other people. People, and especially designers, they always think that I'm designing for Rihanna. You may be designing for Rihanna, but the person that comes to the store to buy is Ong Lei Huat from Ang Mo Kio Avenue 4. So you need to understand her lifestyle. You need to understand her needs. Right? She don't have someone to wash her clothes or dry clean. She throw it in the washing machine and forget about it. She don't want to iron. Right? She iron don't want already. So these are the things you need to really think about. It's more about style. It's more than just style. Alright? So these are our success story. So this is our student. Alright? So she graduated from the fashion technology, the design program. Alright, so she went to work for a factory in Vietnam. So it's good to actually experience, going overseas to experience what some manufacturing job is. Alright, so, and then she started her own bridal shop. Okay? So it's good to know that sometimes when we graduate, it's good to kind of don't jump into business so quickly. It's good to actually work and see how people are doing it. So we always encourage internships. So we also have another student who graduated, and then they're actually a diploma student all right, doing an online business. Now she's selling shoes, and they actually collaborated. These are two of our graduates, all right? They come together to do it. And of course, we have one graduate student who actually she's the one that went to Genealogia, which is stationed in Valencia, Spain, all right? She is actually the one that does all this kind of whiskering and washing and all this kind of thing. We might think nothing of this, we will think nothing of this, but this is a lot of work, all right? Let me tell you, for example, when I was working, I actually worked with Guess. You know Guess jeans, all right? They do jeans, right? So they fit the jeans on the model, they cut a pentagon shape, pin it on the backside. 6, 7 people sit there and look at the backside. Nice or not? Not so nice. Okay, we shape a little bit. Nice or not? Not so nice. You lower it. 4, 5 people, and this can take 3 hours, 4 hours just to look at pockets on the ass, Why? Because for women, the pocket on the jeans determines whether your butt looks high and perky and all that. So a lot of time is spent on that. So you might think all this technology is nothing, but for someone who looks at jeans and the whiskering, all this effect, to them it's cool. Like nowadays, the scraping until you can see your skin, right? Those young people like take some sand dusters and then you can see your leg, right? So what are the best way to do it? What is the most ecologically friendly way to do it? Because jeans actually is very environmentally unfriendly. So Genealogia is using lasers, using all this new technology to do that. So the future of fashion is technology, alright? So she was brave enough to go over, and apparently she's doing so well that the Spanish people were actually, the management were actually quite impressed with her. They want to, I think she's been promoted like once already, and she's just been there for a year, and they're planning to promote her again. I'm like, wow, she's gonna earn as much as me again. Right. So they're so happy that they actually want another person from Singapore to go over. Alright, so these are the things, the opportunities are there lah. Alright? So testimonials from Lee and Fong, alright? So I won't go through too much with you about, so these are just the people that feedback about what, because they got our students, the students work with them, so they know how well they do lah. Alright? So we also have for NTC members, we actually have enjoy 50% unfund cost fee, support up to $250, alright? So if you sign up today, alright, the application fee of $107 will be waived for all sign-ups, alright? So except for sign-ups for full qualification, alright? So if you have any kind of funding issues and stuff like that, our friend Matthew is the person to ask.